And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CerebrumDAO Townhall for Q3 2025. Very happy to have you here and to tell you about what we have been up to. So without further ado, welcome to the stage, our founding steward, Brian.
Excellent. Thanks, Yathan. And hello, everybody. Thank you so much for following us and being part of our community and being interested in what we're doing with CerebrumDAO and our mission. Our mission's an incredibly bold one. As a DAO and a global community-funded and governed and led network organization, we have a great ability to think very long-term and to think quite innovatively to serve the mission of the people that are part of this community. And so with that, we can create a bold vision and bold mission. And so our bold mission is to end brain diseases, all of them. And I recognize that that's may sound far-fetched, but if you think along a long enough time horizon and arc, and with technology development and the power of a global network of people that want to end brain diseases, which could eventually number in the millions to billions, it is definitely possible. And so we're very early in this journey, but we've got a lot of promising signs, and I think we're energizing a lot of people. We have a great global community coming together, a super strong core team that you'll meet today and hear about everything that we're working on across the entire network. And we definitely have some really compelling projects that I think show promise for solving brain diseases and also otherwise would not likely have been funded. Our core team is here. I'm Brian McGearsky, so I started this, and my reason for ending brain diseases started with my youngest daughter, who is now 14. Her name's Ruby May, and she has Down syndrome. People with Down syndrome, unfortunately, fortunately, are living longer lives into their 60s now, where previously it had been in their mid-20s. But they are susceptible to early onset Alzheimer's disease, almost certainly. And unfortunately, Alzheimer's is the reason they're not living past their 60s. And after about 8 years of her life, I just got frustrated with the lack of progress on solving Alzheimer's, and was just feeling we weren't moving fast enough, and we might not have a therapeutic in time for her to extend her lifespan. And so just thought about different ways to do that. So that's why I started this. Everybody else on our core team will introduce themselves in front of their section. So I'll let them speak for themselves. It's an incredible team, and we're doing great work here. We work around the clock, around the globe, and everybody, I can assure you here, is mission driven, and it has just been fantastic to work with. I want to hit some highlights. We had another incredible quarter the last 3 months, and we've got some really exciting news coming up. So how Cerebrum's organized, we organize across working groups. It's not just a neuroscience and drug development organization. That's a core part of it with our Translational Neuroscience working group. But in order to pull all of this off, we need community outreach and engagement, and marketing. We have a very innovative product portfolio coming together. I'm a big believer in one of the powerful aspects of a network organization is to engage consumers in their own brain health and get them participating. So we can provide you with tools and capabilities to have lifestyle interventions today that can extend your brain health without even taking a drug or a pill. And then we can also learn from you if you're willing to participate by sharing data and participating in trials and studies. We can start developing models that can help us understand how the brain ages over time. And that can help inform the type of research we want to do and the type of therapeutics and cures we're going to need. So the product working group's a real core part of feeding the science and the therapeutic development. And of course, no organization can run without operations. And so we need to be able to function across finance and people and funding and all these aspects of operating a network organization. So there's a role here for everybody that wants to play part-time or more. So don't think that you need to be a neuroscientist or a drug developer to have an active role with us. All skills are needed to make this a successful mission. So we have we launched our token in April of 2024. Got our initial treasury funding, and we've been actively deploying it ever since then. We've made a couple equity investments in some strategic biotech companies, which we have fantastic relationships with. But our core is investing in IP development. And so we've already invested in 3 IP projects. And we've successfully raised follow-on funding for 2 of those, the Percepta project and the Fission Bio project. All of these are well underway. We're hitting some critical milestones. For example, with Percepta, this will be the first tokenized project that is going into human double-blinded placebo-controlled clinical trials. And so we're about to start those trials very soon. And then that's going to set a clock where we're going to have data coming back on a natural product that's highly safe, that's very safe. It's been in the market for 10 years. That hopefully, if we prove efficacy on brain health and memory, this would be something that at a cost-effective rate you could take throughout your lifespan to supplement your lifestyle and hopefully extend your healthy brain years. So it could be really powerful as a primary protection and intervention. And then we've got 2 more traditional biotech opportunities that are in the early stage of research with Project Transfidelity, focused on Alzheimer's disease, and Fission Bio, which we've already hit some critical milestones on. And we've been able to demonstrate with Fission that we can very cost effectively, we're way under budget right now, and we're hitting milestones using some innovative AI-based in silico screening technologies and techniques to get us to promising therapeutic candidates faster and more cost effectively. So we're seeing that with resource constraints around our organization that we can really think outside the box with Fission and even with Percepta. Percepta, we've done our human clinical trial is a decentralized trial, and it's done at a fraction of the cost of what a normal 150-person double-blinded placebo-controlled trial would look like. So we're innovating, and I think the technologies are kind of meeting us at the moment where we're trying to do this in a much more cost-effective way. So I think we're finding that we can really accelerate into technology development now too. We have some exciting news coming up. We've got a new IP token sale that's going to be coming up using our partner Molecules platform, the Bio V2 Launchpad. So a project called Neuron Gale, which is galactin-3 approach to Alzheimer's disease. And another exciting development and core on the product side, and actually feeding this flywheel of data and learning to efficiency is an agent that we'll launch, a bio agent. We're calling it Cerebrum. And that is going to be another token, a bio agent token that we'll be launching soon. And we'll be training up a model that we think can then start accelerating new hypotheses and new IPTs that we'd want to fund to find new therapeutic targets that will be informed by data and hopefully community-powered data, which is what we're aiming for there. So 2 super exciting projects coming up. And we definitely have a couple more IPT prospects in the portfolio that we're looking at. So here's a sneak peek into what these are. We don't have specific dates on launching these, but we're well along the way in discussions with the researchers on each of these. We'll just be working with them and our team and the Bio Launchpad as to when these next IPTs will be coming out. So super exciting quarter, some great results achieved on our existing projects, some amazing new token launches coming this quarter, and a pretty strong pipeline heading into 2026. With that, I'm going to pass the torch on to Liwa, who can introduce himself and update you on the working groups.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, my name is Liwa Shayib. I'm really excited to be here. And I lead the community working group, basically community growth working group. So a lot of you probably have met me, especially if you joined CerebrumDAO and you're actively in one of our working groups. You probably have met me or have done a one-on-one with me. And if you're part of the community, you probably see me floating around in our Discord. So I'm really excited to bring together the community. I'm always excited to see these town halls grow and the amount of people that are actually joining us onto these town halls. This is our second town hall. The first one was actually very successful. We were happy to kind of share all of the updates with you. And today, is also another big milestone for us because there's a lot of updates, there's a lot of news, and the team is super excited to keep everybody informed. So going into the community, we have managed to also cover quite a bit of events this quarter, a little bit less than the previous town hall because the previous town hall also covered the whole year. So for this town hall, we focused only on the last 3 months and we managed to cover quite a bit. So you can see some of the events here. Some of you might have already attended, some of you have heard of, and some of them are quite actually prominent events, especially the ones that are happening all over the world through DeSci meetups, and the ones that are even non-DeSci, similar to this GITEX Global Dubai, which happened last year. So we're trying to spread the awareness of DeSci, get as many community members involved, and inform people about the mission that we're actually leading. Not just the mission that Cerebrum is actually carrying forward, which is specialized into brain health, but DeSci in general, and everything that all our partners, collaborators, and other projects are actually doing in this space. It's still a very young space, and we need to always work together to kind of push the mission forward. And moving forward into the community, so we've actually seen one of the strongest community growth in this quarter. With the launch of Bio's Launchpad V2, we've seen quite a bit of new people join the market, especially with the introduction of BioXP and the mechanism around it. A lot of people were interested to see how it works. We're always glad to be part of the Bio ecosystem and collaborate with them on different launches, similar to the ones that actually Brian just mentioned. So Neuron Gale and Cerebri will both launch on Bio XYZ, and already you can see Neuron Gale as part of the upcoming launches. So it will be the second launch that will be coming up on Bio. We've seen a lot of Web 2 people also enter the space, and these Web 2 people might have some interest in science or might be scientists themselves, which is always amazing to see that DeSci is now actually reaching the masses, and we're trying to actively involve ourselves in creating ways for the masses to join us. So I think Mark will have some amazing announcements to showcase, and this is all in our mission to attract a community that's broader than just the Web3 community. Moving on to Neuron Gale, so basically within the upcoming launch, so you can expect the launch of Neuron Gale on Bio. We are yet to determine the dates, but it's very soon, and it will happen during this quarter. We will announce the exact date once we have that, and hopefully this will be our upcoming IPT. And then after that, immediately we're going to launch the AI agent. So we're very excited about these two. It's our first launch in the new V2 platform, which everybody that's attending this and watching our town hall, you all know about the successful stories that happened so far, and we're glad to be part of this journey with the bio and molecules team. Next slide, Yetan, thank you. So for the IPT portfolio, you can access it on our website. Our website is actually completely up to date. We also made sure to update all the pages, also the internal pages. So if you go to our website, you can see that there's quite a bit of community actions that you can do, especially on this page where you can actually apply for funding if you're one of the research projects. You can also nominate a project if you're connected to a project or a science research, and we will also look into that. Our Substack is also growing quite fast. We managed to grow from 0 to 2,000 in less than 2 months, and we urge you to actually register on our Substack. You get monthly updates, and then of course you get all the quarterly updates from there. So we make sure that everything is updated on our Substack. So this is something that you guys can also join. Perfect. And lastly, to also summarize, so there is one important announcement I'd like to make here. So in collaboration with Molecule, we managed to create an on-chain data set. So basically, anybody that wants to learn more about the work that we're doing on Fission Bio, on Neuron Percepta, and Transfidelity for now, you can actually see all the information and updates on-chain through visiting the website. So you can scan the QR code, visit the Molecule website, and have a look at all the data we're announcing. Everything that we're doing, from the research results to the announcements to the updates to the latest news around the projects, everything you can find it there. And of course, we also announce it on our Telegram group. So if you'd like to join our Telegram group, it's directly interlinked with their website. So you will get all the updates immediately on your Telegram, on your devices. Awesome. And then the final announcement here is the Percepta product. So actually, if you're following us, you know that Percepta has been also one of our early IPTs, and we managed to create a lot of awareness around Percepta. So Percepta is a brain health supplement, and we're giving everybody 15% discount to purchase Percepta through using this code here. So you can go to their website and purchase Percepta, and then you can also try out the products. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Yetan. So I'll give it now off to Mark. He's going to talk about the upcoming products development, and he's also going to highlight the next product development that's also related to Percepta, Mark. So maybe we can talk to them about the Cognition Store as well later on. Thank you. I think you're muted, Mark.
Here.
Maybe, Yetan, we can go to the next person, and then we go back to Mark just once he fixes his audio.
Sure. So the next person is me. So hi everybody, I am Yatan, and I'm the operations steward. Yeah, operations is always behind the scenes, so we cannot say so many like visible wins to the external. In a nutshell, question that we're always asking ourselves is, yes, we are D-side, so we have a different approach, but how do we actually make our work better? And how do we use tech and systems to be faster and better than regularly seen or venture builders, along with being compliant, doing everything by the book, so we can actually do our work and increase and expand. And some of the things that we have done in the past couple of months are simplifying the deal flow to make it more compact. I thought it was just so we can be actually faster and have faster turnaround times. Have done the compliance and accounting for 2024, so we're happy about that. We, along with Liwa and the community growth, have started growing our Substack, have a monthly flow or even more of articles and monthly updates. Have done a couple of Meet the Scientists and Ask Me Anything. So these are formats that are have been very fruitful. The audience enjoyed. We get to get different kinds of people coming in, patient groups, scientists, and have great discussions, and also have even sourced some projects through that. And some improvement of offer scheduling systems. And we have already now 43 videos on YouTube, so hopefully growing that as well, including some shorts, and have grown our Substack to 2,000 followers, as Liwa said. So with this again, I'll just ask you to join our Substack, the link below, and I'll put it here in the chat as well. Because there we will be also announcing when do we do user tests, when do we do incentives for people to join us, when do we launch new products, IPTs, and so on. So that'll be the single source of truth that you can bank on. Let's try again with Mark.
How do I sound now?
Perfect.
Amazing. Thank you.
There you go, Mark.
Oh, thank you. My name is Mark Melnikevich. I'm the product group working steward, background in neurotechnology, and really looking at how we can improve brain health for everyone across the world with our products. So, as Marina and Brian and Peter are talking about translational neuroscience, that's a way that we translate science directly into therapeutics and drugs. With the product group, we're really focused on the consumer brain health angle. So looking at how our applications like Cortex, the Cognition Web Store, and also the Cerebrum app can really help to empower brain health for everyone across the world. And these products are really built to work directly together with one another. Next slide, please. So the Cortex application, which will be coming out later this year, is focused on the Neuron ecosystem, wallet, staking, as well as a brain health dashboard, which will allow multimodal data to be brought into your account so that we can start to build foundational models. Brain health foundational models are going to help to power our knowledge graph, which the Cerebrum agent can pull upon to combine with research data so that we can really create an acceleration in how we understand brain health and how we bring new products into the Cerebrum ecosystem. The Cognition Web Store is really focused on access to interventions and products. This kicks off with one of our key partnerships, Xponetic, as well as Percepta. Xponetic, as a mobile application and premium service, allows people to access the management of their brain health, the lifestyle interactions and choices they can make to improve their brain health for good longevity, and also to have personalized coaching, so really one-on-one coaching. The Cerebrum brain health agent is going to supplement this by taking data from the University of Texas, building it into an amazing brain health agent, which can be a personalized tool that you can use day to day, every hour, every minute, from 1 month to the next to the years and decades in the future. So we're really looking at building a foundation to help support your brain health as you're aging now and going forward. Next slide, please. And the way this works together is, again, everything builds on top of one another. So the lifestyle factors that we can understand from wearable sensors, for example, they can combine with the brain health index assessments that are administered through the Xponetic platform. All this information can feed into biomarkers and knowledge that we know already from research and help you understand what choices you should be making in your life and really create a roadmap for the future so that you can understand how to influence and affect your own brain health, because everyone is different. Every brain is unique. And treating every brain uniquely is really what we have to do as part of a holistic brain health approach. The Neuron token is really powering all of these interactions. So when we are asking people to provide their brain data to power our brain health model, this is being done in exchange for Neuron tokens. These can then be used to get reductions on intervention prices in the Cognition store, and also, of course, lead to governance actions within the Cerebrum ecosystem. So we're really looking to bring in people from the Web 2, the Web 3 worlds, patient groups, and everyone from daily life so we can help to empower your brain health now and in the future. Next slide, please. So we're really excited to be having the launch of the Cognition store. We're planning this for approximately the second, third week of November. This will be a first product launch from Cerebrum, where everyone can come to the store, access Xponetic Premium, as well as Percepta. And we're then going to grow our partnerships through products in conjunction with other companies to bring in products to the ecosystem that really makes sense for brain health. And the great thing is that as we launch and basically bring Cortex into the sphere, this will also be a place where you can bring in brain health information and then use that information to understand what interventions are working for you as well as for everybody else. Next slide, please. So the Cortex app and the Cognition Store, they're really going to work together for one another. Having interventions, having a brain health roadmap, understanding what the impact and efficacy of those interventions are on your brain health and the brain health of everyone else. And this is, I believe, really going to help us empower how we approach brain health and how we personalize it for everyone in the future. Next slide, please. So the Cortex roadmap is really exciting for us. Q4 of this year is really focused on bringing out the functionality for Neuron. So wallet, staking, interaction with patient groups who can then use Neuron to basically help govern what research projects we should be prioritizing at Cerebrum. Release 2 in 2026 is then going to focus on administrating brain health index measurements, as well as exchanging Neuron for brain health data. This can then expand together with wearable sensor data integration, so we start to really pull together a sea of data about brain health and lifestyle factors. Release 3 is then going to be focused on how we can then create real-world study platforms, so really decentralizing and increasing the studies that we can do with brain health so that we can really understand these endpoints better and then translate those into new IPT projects and new translational research initiatives. Next slide, please. So overall at Cerebrum, the Cognition Store is coming this year in about 2 or 3 weeks. Cortex is coming shortly thereafter. We're already in the development phase and pushing towards the release with user testing. And in addition, we'll talk about this later, but Percepta, as you've heard quite a bit about, is going through the study approval process with a internal review board in the United States, and will then be launching recruitment and then starting the data collection for Percepta. And the Percepta trial is going to include not just understanding of Percepta as a supplement, but also, again, focusing on brain health, integration of wearables, brain health index data, and really creating a foundation for the creation of the brain health foundational model and the Cerebri app and agent. And also, as we ramp up marketing, we're going to be bringing in more revenue to the DAO to help us grow our translational neuroscience activities. So we're really looking forward to launching new products one after another, getting them into the ecosystem, and improving brain health for everyone day by day, week by week, year by year. Thank you.
All right. I hope it works with my audio. My name is Marina, and I am the Translational Neuroscience Group Steward. I have a background in psychiatry and neuroscience with both lab work, target identification, biomarker discovery, and also neuroimaging. I think that unlike the product group, we are working in the very much regulated space, and it has been really exciting working with our team. Basically because we have always some new challenges, new projects, new evaluations, and so on. We can go to the next slide. We started our path with searching for projects in the areas of neuroinflammation, blood-brain barrier dysfunction, metabolic and mitochondrial dysfunction. We have funded Fission Bio in this space. We are now very excited to support the Galactine-3 research, which is the neuroinflammation space. And we have seen a number of really good projects in blood-brain barrier dysfunction area, whom we would love to support, and we offer our help wherever possible. But we also announced the new call for funding at the beginning of this year. This is on the next slide. We were really interested to fund the projects in Down syndrome. It actually obviously came from the story that Brian told you in the beginning, but also we always had some researchers coming to us and telling, oh, we're doing this research. This is also applicable to Down syndrome. Let's go and explore it there. And throughout this first half of the year and until now, we had really very meaningful conversations. We have been in touch with Down syndrome T21 research community. We learned a lot about which research is currently ongoing, and we got a couple of exciting projects which are now undergoing senior review. Today, I would love on the next slide actually to focus on the new calls for funding, because I think that we have, let's say, we have a couple of projects in the Down syndrome area which we're recommending for funding. And for the end of the year and the beginning of the next year, we would like to extend our portfolio of the topics and the fields. And one of them, very pathogenetically important for neurodegeneration, would be looking for projects in lipid metabolism for neurodegeneration. All of us know that brain is mostly a lipid organ, and lipids were really ignored for a while, and now the research community understands that they actually play also quite a significant role in the neurodegeneration process. And we are basically inviting those scientists who are watching our video or who are attending our meetings to submit their projects targeting lipids also in the very early stages, with the goal to develop therapies in the upcoming years. Beyond the lipid theory, we would like to also build an ecosystem for translational neuroscience group. And in our short experience, let's say, we have already seen how implication of AI, we could go to the next slide, has accelerated the research for the Fission Bio project, for example, also democratized it and made it very cost efficient. So as of now, we are opening the call for projects who are developing AI models for early drug discovery. Early specifically because we think these projects will benefit all the other projects in our ecosystem. And if you're working on the target identification, target validation, maybe virtual screening, generative AI for de novo drug design, if you have models predicting efficacy, toxicity, drug interactions, etc., please contact us, submit your proposal to our website, and we will get in touch with you and proceed with the next steps. On the next slide, you will see our process, which we realized sometimes takes longer than we wanted. So in the last couple of months, we really focused on optimizing the process, on speeding up senior review, on focusing very much on really translational research, because what we always observe, unfortunately, and I know it from my academic career, academia doesn't really teach us what are the most important steps to actually bring research to the market. So there is some kind of cognitive dissonance between basic research, love for science, and translation that is actually needed. So we really focus very much now on focusing those proposals that come to us early on. And we really want to help our scientists, neuroscientists, pharmacologists, chemists, to understand that all this translational process is actually really not that easy. It requires a lot of effort, and it requires a lot of focus in on the different stages of the process. Here, our network was super useful, and it was really exciting working with these people, because we now have a pool of senior reviewers who have, I don't know, probably over 50 years altogether of drug discovery experience altogether. And they really know where to propose which connection, where to do which experiments, and it has actually helped us already to save quite, I would say, a couple of $100,000 or euros by streamlining the experiments. On the next slide, you can see how Yatan has helped us to really keep track of all the process, of all the stages for projects. This is just a snapshot from our ClickUp. You can see here that we have a number of projects in each stage of project evaluation. And yet on another slide, you also see now the portfolio tool that Peter was developing, which actually has a lot of potential to serve beyond our DAO, I think. So here you can see the breakdown for different projects that we are evaluating, and the breakdown of those projects that have been funded. I guess we are now moving slowly to Michele, who has been really great sourcing the projects for us, looking for universities, contacting researchers, staying in touch, following up on multiple emails, doing really great job. So I will pass it to you, Michele.
Yes, hello everyone. It's again a pleasure to present for the second time now. My name is Peter. I have a background in biology and physiology, and I did a PhD in genetics, and I've worked in the pharmaceutical industry in R&D for about 25 years. So I'm helping the team to focus on directions, but also to learn from the mistakes that we're making in R&D. And that's the first slide I have. Next slide. So if you're looking at the unmet medical needs, which are only increasing with an aging population, but if you're looking at the total output of the pharmaceutical industry, you see something is broken. And I think that's specifically where decentralized science is trying to kind of fill in a gap and find novel and innovative ways to find new medications for unmet medical need, as Marina has already just pointed out with a number of different directions. Next slide. This one is actually for Mark.
Thank you. So in the Percepta project, which we've been talking about quite a bit, we're kicking off a trial which is looking at the effect of Percepta on memory support. One of the really interesting things about this trial is that we're not just collecting cognitive feedback data, we're also extending this trial for blood biomarkers. So we're using the p-tau217 tau marker to understand how Percepta is actually changing what's happening inside the brain. This was done in conjunction with a new funding raise, and also Peter has been doing amazing work supporting on the acquisition of new TASO kits, which can be used to actually collect blood at home. So we're actually, within this project, validating the use of this kit specifically for decentralized trials. So beyond this initial trial, it's really going to help us expand how we can understand brain health and how it changes with different interventions.
Yes, let's go a little bit deeper into the different projects. You already saw Brian in the beginning pointing out a few that we have been working on. This one is a very active project. We're looking at the stress response and the aging response, specifically at the level of mitochondria. And researchers in Stanford, the lead scientist, has actually discovered an interaction between DRP1 and FIS1 that can be interrupted by a natural protein called P110. And he has been developing analogs on P110 over the last decade and is now involved in an in silico project to discover small molecules that can actually interact with this DRP1 FS1. The update for Q3 is that beyond what we have already shown before, we actually have already tested a few of these molecules that have been found in silico, and we are very successful. In 90 that were tested, 15 actually above the threshold showed an interaction with the DRP1 FIS1 interaction, and we're positively modulating this interaction. So we're on a good track. We have many more molecules that we're testing. We are probably in the next month going to test around 600 in a first screening assay, and we're building a secondary screening assay to make sure that we're looking at different aspects in biology of this DRP1 FIS1 interaction. So we're definitely on a good way, and as Marina was pointing out, the involvement of AI in our workflows is really taking shape. So we are very, very hopeful that in the next update, we will be showing you some fantastic data from this. Next slide. Another project which is again looking at aging from another perspective, which is knowing a fact that as we age, our translational fidelity is decreasing, and there's a lot understanding on what's happening, but at the molecular level not so much. And as you can imagine, if we would be able to interfere with this infidelity of translation, we might actually be able to correct some of the aging processes that we're witnessing, which can be expressed in diseases like Alzheimer's disease, but many other neurological diseases. We have an update here. We have found at least 2 molecules out of a small library screen that actually interact, that positively correct this infidelity on translation. These are known molecules, so it's kind of repositioning. And we're now trying to understand what actually the pathways are that can be modulated and that can hopefully then give us a way to discover novel molecules. Next slide. Every project has an upside and a downside, and for us it's also very important to make sure that the research that we are evaluating is having a good start. So this was one of the projects that was showing very much promises on positive modulators of an SK channel. We have a family of SK channels, and it was already speculated that if we would find a selective molecule that would modulate the 2.2 family member, we might actually have a much more potent and much more safer way to treat different ataxias. We were working with the university in Texas, and we had a license to evaluate the molecules that they had published and that they also had patented. Unfortunately, the main molecule that was published to be very selective did not replicate at all. And for various reasons, we were at least able to demonstrate that this molecule actually does not really exist. The structural features that we have evaluated did not show any selectivity. Actually, we were not able to show any binding, mostly in the replication studies that we have done. The other molecules from the publication and patent actually did replicate. And as you can see here in the graph, it's a bit more of a complicated graph. Most of the data correlate, unfortunately not the selective compound that we were very much interested in. So we decided to terminate the agreement with the Chapman University and focus our resource on other projects that are more promising. And again, this is a very important aspect of early research in academia, to make sure that all the aspects, quality, are being seen through. So it might be a negative outcome, but for us, it's a very positive outcome in the sense of where we can focus now on more promising projects. Next slide. Yeah, to summarize, you heard Mark speaking about Percepta. We are very happy to have this collaboration with Quantrix and Tasso to make sure that for the future, not just for our own clinical trials, but for all decentralized clinical trials, we have a very good way to measure, first of all, p-tau217, but it opens the way for many other assays that we can at least have home-based collection. I showed you the update on fission. We're on a very good track there. It shows you all the promises that are there on AI. So we hope that in the next update, we'll be able to, as I said, give you even better news. Fidelity is also on a very good track in the last 3 months. We have an update meeting very soon. And again, here in the next update town hall, we will be able to hopefully give you a bit of an insight if we are able to find analogs of the 2 compounds that we have found. And then lastly, a negative result with an outcome that at least allows us to focus on more successful projects is the non-replication of a very selective compound that was very important in the treatment of ataxia. Next slide. I think we are closed here. I give back the word to Yatan.
This is now Q&A time. So here you have all of the projects that we're currently working on, the working groups, and some closing remarks from Brian.
Do you want those closing remarks now, Yata?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to the Q&A. So please send it in. This is just super exciting. So when we set forth with Cerebrum, our whole thing was let's treat brain diseases as a function of aging, and let's think far outside the box in terms of we want a broader diversity of hypotheses as to what causes brain diseases, and to fund research that treats it as a function of aging and looks to get really upstream on this. With brain health, we've really looked at this with a symptomatic point of view, and when symptoms are appearing with brain diseases, that means like pathology has been developing for decades. And by the time you wait for symptoms to appear without any ability to detect it beforehand, it gets very, very difficult to solve the problem. So the more upstream we can get and the more that we can understand pathology developing before symptoms happen and the earlier interventions we can make, the more likely it is we can prevent and ultimately end brain diseases. And so I think you're seeing that with our array of investments in IP development and our product portfolio coming together. And, we're looking to really understand how the brain ages with our product portfolio and the data that we're collecting and the agent that we're developing, and help inform even broader diversity of hypotheses. And then with our capital efficiency, we can take a lot more shots on goal to try to find things that will work and will lead to successful therapeutics and interventions. As you see, they all don't work with SK channels. Some really things, some things I really want to call out that are innovations that have come from Cerebrum so far. This whole idea of pre-screening efficiency with AI in silico. We're not the only ones doing it, but it's showing with the Fission project how efficient we can be at getting to some viable targets where we have to actually make larger investments. And so we're a lot more confident in those investments because of this efficiency we're doing and comprehensive screening that we're doing up front. With Percepta, this idea of decentralized trials and the cost effectiveness that we can do with this, and actually getting that data that can actually understand what's going on in the brain on a decentralized basis is just going to lead to a broader understanding of brain aging and effectiveness of therapeutic interventions. The SK channel, I view that as a success. I mean, we all know the replication issue with academia and publishing. There's a lot of unreplicated studies out there. And what we did with that was we made a small investment to actually understand whether it would replicate, and we saved ourselves time and a lot of money from making a much larger investment. A lot of parties would just go right for the larger investment right away and only discover what we discovered at a fraction of the cost. So I view that as a learning experience, and I view it as capital efficiency. And also giving back to the community to actually understand what's working and what's not working out there. And then the amazing product portfolio that's coming together, I think Mark did a fantastic job of reviewing it. We're actively working to provide you, community members, ways that you can take care of your brain today that are effective, that are lifestyle interventions and other things that you can do, and ways to measure your brain health. And by doing that, we're learning from that, and then we're coming up with a much better platform for which to create therapeutic interventions when they are necessary. So super excited. This is like a lot to cover, but it's just remarkable from a global network organization when you pull a community together, how much you can get done in a short period of time with relatively small number of resources. And we're only hoping for those to grow as we get more people actively involved in the community and we put out more products and projects. So with that, I'll stop and welcome questions. The team is here and eager to respond to any.
I think I also wanted to add one very interesting part about the SK Channels project. From our reviewer network, we were connected to a senior reviewer who pointed exactly to the potential problem that we have encountered. And eventually we, by replicating study, we actually saw exactly what the scientist was expecting just from his experience. So it is really exciting to work in this network of people who always know where to point where to send you, who knows best, and also who can fund the next stage.
Thank you, Marina. We actually have two questions. So I think the first one, I'll give it to you, Mark. So the first question is related to Neuron. And the question is, how does Neuron play the role across the whole ecosystem? We didn't talk about Neuron much within this slide. So maybe you can kind of shine the role of Neuron across the products that you introduced.
Yes, thank you. Currently, Neuron is used as a governance token for CerebrumDAO. Let's first focus on translational neuroscience. The expansion that we're doing is really tying Neuron to brain health. So that happens in a couple of ways. First, and I think probably one of the most interesting for a lot of consumers, is the ability to earn Neuron in exchange for allowing your brain data to be used to build brain health foundational models and to really understand how brain health is changing with different interventions. The second thing will be staking utility with Neuron and then earning price reductions on products from the Cognition web store. And we're also looking to expand that into different areas. For example, staking Neuron to give governance or directions towards what research projects we could be looking at Cerebrum. And I think when we then expand this to not just thinking about exchanging Neuron for brain health, but bringing Neuron into the token economy that's being built with AI agents, it's super exciting. Because the future that we see is that we have different bioagents for different topics. There's like a biome agent, there's a PTSD agent with SpecTruth-DAO, for example. And when we start to access data for different applications, and we have agents moving between different DAOs to access this information, then we want to have an exchange of Neuron for data access or API access. So we're looking to really create these different layers of interaction with Neuron. Starts with governance, then it goes to brain health and exchanging data for Neuron. And then we're looking at that third tier, which would be permissionless science, where we can really look at an expansion of the utility of Neuron for these different use cases.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. And the next question, I think, goes to Brian. It's basically what's next. So what can we expect in 2026 onwards with all of these IPTs and all the work that we're doing? What's like the most exciting thing we can expect?
Isn't just one exciting thing. You can expect to be able to directly engage with Cerebrum in multiple different ways. I think Mark just outlined it. We're introducing a lot of utility for the Neuron token. So there'll be a lot of use cases coming for the Neuron token. And I think with the Cerebrae agent, what you're going to find is it's going to be quite a compelling agent that you can interact with for your personal brain health. And by doing so, and also by participating with data sharing, for the Neuron token, it'll get a lot more personalized, and you'll also be informing our science. I think on the IPT side, you're going to see us learn from these first IPTs and develop a model that we can look to start scaling. And so what we're trying to do is learn from our first, say 5 to 6 IPTs, and then find something that can scale so we can take that from 5 to 10, and from 10 to 50, and from 50 to 100. And that's how we win here. And I think you'll start seeing some of that efficiency start appearing in a more repeatable model in 2026 for funding and translating research.
Awesome. Perfect. Is there any other questions, Yatan, from your side?
No more questions from my side.
Beautiful. Yeah, likewise.
End of the hour. I guess that's it. Thank you so much
Yes.
for coming to our town hall. And yeah, we'll be doing one of these every quarter. follow us mainly on our Substack. That's where we publish most of the stuff. You can check out our website and our Discord. We're always looking for more people to join the mission. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, team. This wonderful town.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.